That morning, she woke up with a view of the Aegean Sea. She was so happy to be in Greece again after more than 5 years. She ordered her coffee for breakfast, cappuccino as usual, and also got a small pastry as a gift. She was excited that her day in Delphi is just about to start. She was always in love with ancient Greek history and mythology. Reading and learning stories about their many gods, goddesses, heroes, rituals was always one of her many passions. And visiting Delphi was always her dream. Already during her high school days, she learned that back then, in the ancient times, Delphi was a sacred place that welcomed thousands of pilgrims every year. The ancient Greeks considered Delphi to be the center of the world, marked by the stone monument known as Omphalos, navel. Many people visited the town in search of advice from Pythia, the high priestess of the temple of Apollo. Pythia was the major oracle or prophetic predictor who was consulted about the political and personal matters. While she was taking the wide steps upwards on what is believed to be the sacred way, she thought about all the questions that she would ask Pythia if she would have met her in her previous life. She thought about it a lot and realized that she would have so many questions for her that other pilgrims waiting to talk with Pythia as well would probably lose patience and kick her out. As she continued to climb the broad steps, she passed by the marble Athenian treasury that looks like a smaller temple and was built to hold offerings for the oracle. Back then, there were more treasuries standing, built by many of the Greeks to celebrate the war victories and to thank the oracle for her advice. She was thinking how beautiful and sunny this August day is, how much history is just lying here, how many stories are still to be told. Next monument on her way up was the Temple of Apollo. The remains of the Temple of Apollo that we see today, Doric columns, date from the 4th century BC. What we know now is that before there were 4 temples standing here. The one that is still here was destroyed by fire and later on by the earthquake, but it was rebuilt both times. Isn't it unbelievable what people were able to make more than 2000 years ago? Incredible, she thought. There were not so many tourists at the site because the COVID pandemic is still ongoing. She felt like she has the whole Delphi to herself to explore. She couldn't stop admiring the beauty and the strength of the columns in front of her. She also started to notice the view of a beautiful valley surrounding the area. Next monument, on her way up on the hill, was famous ancient theater. She imagined all the people sitting and laughing or crying while watching the famous Greek tragedies. She took a seat to dive in the magical scenic view of Delphi. She felt so lucky and grateful to be able to travel to Greece during this hard situation in the world. Not only because of pandemic, but as well because of all the other sad and terrifying things happening in the world at the moment. With the years, she learned not to take anything in life for granted. She closed her eyes and felt stillness and connection with her deep inner self. Like the time had stopped, all the pain in the world was gone for a second, and she was in the center of it, in Delphi, the center of the world. Maybe it was the ghosts from the past who made her feel that way, or maybe it was her own mind, she felt calm and happy again after a long time. Time to move on, she thought. Next monument she saw was huge ancient stadium. During ancient times, it was holding famous Pythian games every 4 years. Delphi was home to the biggest ancient sporting event, after the one held on Mount Olympus. The day was slowly ending, and she went down to hill, passing by again by the incredible remains of the Apollo temple. The view was still as stunning as before. She remembered there is another smaller archaeological site down the hill that she wanted to see, the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Before she exited, she passed by again by the navel, or the omphalos, cone-shaped stone along the sacred way, a replica of the belly button of the earth. In ancient times, it was located in the inner sanctuary of the Temple of Apollo, flanked by 2 golden eagles. She arrived to the small site just before the sunset. The name of the sanctuary is the Tholos of Delphi, which was a circular temple created between 380 and 360 before Christ at the center of the sanctuary of Athena Pronaia. The building was constructed with 20 Doric columns and stands 13.5 meters high. She was stunned by the height of the columns and how beautiful they merge with the nature surrounding them. They looked so harmonic and elegant, like she was listening to Mozart's famous Little Night Music. She went around the circular remains a few times, admiring the architecture genius from back then, and what everything these columns survived to still stand here today. From far away, the whole site looked like little own world, like small hole in time and space, where nothing can influence or break the peacefulness of it. If she could, she would have stayed here longer, to try to feel even more the presence of the souls of people who lived here. But the reality was that at 7:30 they were closing the area, and all the visitors had to leave the site. She left Delphi the next day. As always, when she visits the old archaeological sites, she was happy that at least for one tiny part of a second, she was a part of it. At the same time, she felt so small, almost invisible compared to the rich Greek history, the old remains that are still standing here, that survived everything and will still stand here in many, many years to come. Her next destination will be as excited as this one. I will never stop exploring the world, she was thinking. A new day has already begun.